Good morning. Good morning. It's just putting a notice out that we are live with the Morning Cuppa. Hello, hello, everyone. Hello from wet Virginia. It's a wet morning out there. I'm sharing this live out so that people know we're here. Come on in. I promise you won't get wet on the inside. It's only wet when you walk out that door. And the horses are out in the field. The doggies have been out to check on them. So good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday. As our Deirdre says, happy hump day. And as we say here at Cuppa, it is prayer day. This is the day of prayer when we revisit all those that are on our prayer list. Good morning, Deirdre. You must have heard me say that about you. It is hump day. Okay, so putting it into our groups and getting people's in here. Calling all P's. Okay, got it shared out. And let's see if we can get some people to come in and do the heart brain coherence with us. All right. Hand on the heart and slow down the breathing. And we're going to add in some love. Yeah, I'm a little early today, Deirdre. I have the Wednesday meditation, so I thought I'd go ahead and get Cuppa going and see if we can get some energy flowing, get me waking up. Let us have some coffee. And we normally don't have time for story time on Wednesday. But I think I'm back. Maybe. Don't know what that's all about that I keep freezing up. But anyway, Catherine Kovacs is here. Good morning, Catherine. Calling all P's. thought of my phone. Let's see if that'll give us a better connection this morning because it kept telling me it was not connecting. And now I still get the message. So I think it must be Restream this morning that's not happy. Oh, geez, Louise. Okay, well, we're just going to go with it. And we're going to get what we get and hopefully get your messages seen. Yeah, Kathy, I was a little frozen. I don't know what to do. You all know how this works. It's rainy and overcast here, so it could be the satellite connection. I don't know. Anyway, let's go in our hearts. Breathe in love and breathe out love. Breathe in joy and breathe out joy. Breathe in peace and breathe that peace out into the world. And then put a smile on your face and say, I am worthy. I am enough. Miracles happen to me every day, and I love myself. Opportunities are opening up for me everywhere. I'm healthy. I am happy. I'm kind. Ooh, breathe that in and breathe it back out. And it's working and you hear me. Okay, well, I still have a message on my screen that says, oops, you lost the connection. So I'm not trusting them. I'm trusting you. And hopefully, while you were in your heart, you reached down deep and you gave somebody a big heart hug. Who did you hug today? Who did you call in here and say, come on in, we're waiting for you? So Deirdre, I don't remember, is it day 156 that we're on? I keep getting lost, but Deirdre keeps track. And I know that every day we say those affirmations, and every day we pull somebody into our heart or a heart hug, and it feels good, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel really good to do that? Today's prayer day. So are you on the prayer list? Do you want to be? Do you have a loved one that's on that list? Call them in here. If you put them on the prayer list, let them know and bring them in. 156, I was right. All right. Pat on the back for me. Good job, Teri. And good morning, Sally and Tony. Oh, hello, girls. And you hugged Deirdre and Great Auntie Jean. Thank you, Hope. I sure wish our Great Auntie Jean was here with us. I know we've been missing her on the Morning Cuppa. I've reached out to her a couple of times. I sent her an email yesterday. I don't know. I really wish that she was here. We miss her beautiful energy. Good morning, Kathleen. I'm so glad that you're here. All right, so cheers, everybody. Rise and shine on this beautiful Wednesday morning. Oh, Catherine, you hugged your cats gently this morning. I love that. All right, so let's do a story time. Y'all, this was really funny yesterday, so I had to write about it and have the angels do something with it because it was just too funny what I was experiencing here at the farm. So the message from the angels is called The Great Stall Standoff. This above all else, to thine own self be true. That's, of course, by our William Shakespeare. Living in alignment with who you are, your heart, your values, your inner truth isn't always smooth sailing. Sometimes it takes a little resistance, a little stubbornness, and maybe even a bit of horse sense to remind us. This afternoon, I was reminded of this lesson in the most unexpected way by a big spirited horse named Choctaw, also known as Chuck. Chuck was not the kind of horse you boss around. I was bringing the horses in from the intense afternoon heat and directing Chuck into his specific stall, although he stubbornly decided to go into another horse's stall. I coaxed him, pleaded with him, and tried every reasonable and not so reasonable persuasion tactic I knew. Chuck just looked at me with those deep, knowing eyes that said, "Nice try, newbie, but I have my own plan." I could feel him laughing at me and being entertained by the whole process. He shifted his weight, sidestepped my lead, and made it abundantly clear that he was not going where I wanted him to go. The more I tried, the more he stood his ground, until, in a flash of inspiration, I held out the one thing that Chuck couldn't resist: his treats. He took himself right to the stall he knew he belonged in, and I could feel the smirk on his face, because there, waiting for him, was exactly what he wanted: his treat in my outstretched hand. It made me wonder, how often do we stubbornly refuse to go to the place or path that is ours because we let curiosity or desire pull us away? How often do we give up our own stall for the sake of moments of pleasure or exploration of what others have? Dear angels, how can I be true to myself without feeling guilty or selfish? Dear ones, being true to yourself is one of the highest forms of love you can offer the world. Your soul came here with its own divine blueprint, a unique vibration that no one else carries. When you honor that truth, you not only align with your own joy, but you become a clear, steady light for others to find their way. Release the belief that your authenticity harms others. True authenticity never wounds, it liberates. Those who truly love you will want you to walk your own path, just as you would want the same for them. Trust that saying yes to your inner knowing is saying yes to the universe's perfect plan for you. And remember, just like Chuck, the path that's yours will lead to the sweetest reward. The angels whisper, when you walk your own path, heaven walks beside you. And angels, today I promise to stay on my own path. I don't know about staying in my own stall, but definitely my own path. It was an experience. And Blue, I see that you jumped in here. Good morning. Yeah, it was one of those moments when you're like trying to move a house because there's me, little 5'2" of me, and there's this horse, a big quarter horse, being very stubborn and looking at me like, I see you. I see you, human. And I'm going to just do what I'm going to do because I know I'm going to watch you get frustrated as heck. And I could see the process. I could watch it. And at one point, I just started laughing and I'm going, Chuck, I have no idea how to get you over there. I've got a lead on you. I'm begging you, pleading with you. You're over here shaking the food dish in your stallmate's stall. And you're not doing what you need to do, which is get in your own stall so Chi-Chi can come to his stall. So it was funny looking back on it. And I was telling the story to my friend Karen, and she says, did you videotape it? That would be That would be like the most hilarious video, I swear. Me just standing there with this big animal and him saying, I'm happy. I'm content where I'm at. You just go ahead, do what you're going to do. And then the angel said, Teri, just get a treat. Just offer him what he wants, which is, something that feels good, something that's comfort. So I did. And he did his thing and went over to his stall to munch on his treat. So now I know that when I'm bringing Chuck into the barn, that I have to close off the other stall first, or he's going to just make me run in circles. But what a great lesson, isn't it, for us in life? It's a great lesson to know that we have options. We can be obstinate. We can stomp our feet and say, no, I'm not going to my own stall. I'm not walking my own path. I want to go over here. And I've done that. I've been where I'm not supposed to be. I've taken the road less traveled and ended up somewhere I didn't know where I was. But then when we listen and when we follow that calling to be where we know we're supposed to be, what a difference. It just feels right. It feels in alignment. Jim Mershon joined us, and Jennifer, good morning. Joanne, there you are. So Blue says, Teri, Dolly was so naughty this morning. It was cool this morning, so she decided to exercise herself. She was so hot that it took 1.5 hours to get her cool enough to put her in her stall. Now she has to wait for her food. She's mad at me. There's something with these horses, Blue. They have a stubborn streak all of a sudden. Yes, Chuck likes to be bribed. I'm figuring out his love language, which is food. Give me the food and I'll do what you say. I'll walk over there on my own. You won't have to show me or tug on me. So yeah, they're so interesting, these horses. Chuck is a quarter horse. He's huge, absolutely huge. And Chi-Chi is what is Chi-Chi? I'll get it in a minute because she just told me yesterday what he was. But he's absolutely beautiful. I know that. He may be a stallion. I think that's what she said. Dolly awaits her food after a bath with fresh hay and glaring at you. Uh-oh. Oh, that Dolly. Dolly's a princess. So, of course, she's going to get her way, Blue Jean, no matter what you do. And I think Chuck must be the prince. So, yeah, he's definitely has that mind of his own. And I just envisioned that could be a Mr. Ed episode. Remember Mr. Ed, the talking horse? And Chuck talking to me like, yeah, that's all right. You just wait right there. you just hold my hay. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. It was really funny. And yeah, I wish that I had videotaped it. That would have been hilarious. All right. So what does Kuan Yin have to say to us this morning? Trust. Trust what you feel the divine is communicating to you through the happenings around you. There is divine guidance in all things if we know how to feel and look for it through the heart without silencing our intuition with logic. And I think that's kind of what I was doing. I was logically saying, I've got a lead on this horse. I'm just going to give it a little tug and he's going to get in his own stall and get out of his neighbor's stall. The logic didn't work. So then my intuition kicked in and the angel said, go in the tack room and get him a treat and make him happy because he's getting his way. So yeah, it was funny. Jean says a quarter horse is named after running the quarter mile. Is he bigger than Dolly? She's fancy pants quarter horse. Yeah, he's bigger than Dolly. I think he's older than Dolly. I think he's 27 is what the owner told me. He's an older horse. He's stubborn and he's going to do what he's going to do. And it was so funny because I was talking to the owner of the other horse, which is Comanche, a beautiful, amazing, beautiful horse. And Comanche is older as well. But she said, anytime Chuck sees a gate open, he's going to head for the gate. So I've learned I'm getting them in from the field, I'll leave the gate open. And as soon as Chuck spots it, and it was true, he started coming toward the horse. The quarter horses are known for their speed, going very fast, but a very short distance, like Jean said, a quarter mile. So they're not good for the long haul in running a race or going fast. But boy, when he saw the gate open and I'm standing there by the gate, he's like, oh yeah, let me get in there. And then, of course, Comanche goes, oh, if you're going in, I'm going in. So he followed not too far behind. Okay, so we are on page 83, I do believe. Dear ones, you are exactly where you are supposed to be in any given moment. Release the thought that you missed out on something or that you need to change the past to move forward. Embrace every experience with loving arms. Every experience, even a stubborn horse. Live your life such that when it's time to say goodbye, you can do so without regret, holding only love in your heart and leaving behind a legacy so big that something as simple as a scarf brings in a flood of beautiful memories. I remember when I wrote that angel message, when I got the download from them and wrote about my friend Jeannie, who had given me a beautiful purple scarf that I still have. And yeah, those things that loved ones give us, they have such meaning when we look at them after they're in spirit and we can feel their energy and go back into those memories. Dear ones, until you see the true beauty that is inside of you, no one can make you see it. All the words in the universe will be met with resistance as long as you see yourself unworthy of them. Very true statement. And the last message, it is the state of non-judgment that it is in the state of non-judgment that you find out your true nature, which is love. Hold that love as sacred always. Always, always cherish love. Bring in as much love into your heart as you can, because that's where the miracles happen. When we find that love and we allow ourselves to embrace it, just like I embraced Chuck. I didn't hold it against him that he made my first day with him difficult. He was just being a horse. He was just having fun and horsing around and seeing what the new human would do if he decided to be stubborn. So it's all good. I love Chuck. I gave him big hugs and pats and talked to him. And he is a gentle horse. He really is. So thankfully, glad he's not the horse that stands up on his hind legs and intimidates somebody. He's not like that at all. Good morning, Brandy. And Kathy says, quarter horses do great barrel racing. Oh, okay. Hope says, while you're there, we should call you the horse whisperer. Yeah, it was it was interesting being able to communicate I could actually just hear this horse talking. I could hear him just looking at me and just kind of shaking his head like, oh, you got a lot to learn, which I do. I know nothing. I admit that. So it was just very interesting. to have that experience and for me to learn. Okay, so now I just make it impossible for you to go in the wrong stall. And are we like that as humans? Do we get to a point where it's impossible? Well, nothing's impossible, but it's harder for us to go off the track, to go away from what we know intuitively in our heart is the path for us to walk, the way for us to go. I don't know. It could be. I find it easier and easier to stay on my path, to stay on that divine connection where I do hear spirit and I do get the inspired thoughts, like go get a treat. Or if I call in the angels and say, okay, help me here, like Archangel Ariel would be the perfect angel to work with these horses while I'm here, and the dogs and the cats. So, yeah, I think as we get more wiser in our life, we recognize that, yeah, it would just be better to go to my own stall. It would be better for me to just cooperate and not make life difficult for others. Blue says they also jump high fences. Yeah, I don't think Chuck's into jumping any fences right now. he's, like I said, an older horse. He just goes out in the field and just enjoys life. I love that. I look at them out in the field sometimes, and it's like they're just happy just to be there, and all the beauty that's here in this part of the world. Sally says, what's up with all the babies wanting their food this morning? The koi were extra hungry too this morning. Yeah, they want what they want when they want it. And we're here to meet those needs because they do depend on us. You know, they can't fend for themselves. So the doggies were the same way this morning. I opened the door for them to go out and go potty, and they're like, you're going to feed us first. So they went straight to where their food bowls are, and they waited patiently while I got the food for them. So yeah, I think, and the cat, oh my gosh, the one cat was very vocal this morning. Like, you haven't fed me yet. Come on, get with the program. So they're keeping me in line while I'm here at this farmhouse. They're letting me know that there's a routine and I'm not supposed to deviate from it. And if all goes well, then it's a happy farm and all the animals cooperate. I think the doggies are maybe crashed out. There's a cat sitting over by the door, and that's little Zizi. You can see her looking out, seeing if there's anything for her to pay attention to try to imagine that she's out there chasing it because she's an indoor cat. Blue says, that is why my fence is 6 feet high, because Dolly is a red-headed mare. That means that she is special. Dolly is so special. We just love her. All right, so it is our prayer day. I'm going to be pulling up the prayer list, and I did revise it and put in anything new that needed to go on there. So let me get it up here, and if you all have anything that you want to add, update, just let me know, and after we get off the air, then I will definitely do that. Now I gotta go find it. There it is. All right, so while that's coming up for you all to see, I know Deirdre gives us a wonderful daily prayer to go up on the screen, and Brandy's here. Brandy always reminds us to lift up those who are suffering from dementia of any type and those touched by suicide in their lives. Excuse me. taking it a minute to upload an important list because it has been created years by all of you, bringing your loved ones, bringing your own prayers for yourself and your families. Hey, it's coming. Our prayer for all humans, for Gaia and all who live on her back, for world peace, attention to human trafficking, support for all families, for our troops that are the ones that are deployed, and United States, especially fall in our United States, as well as the rest of the world, and prayers for any other. And Kathleen Caputo and Reverend Janine. Oh, I sure will, Kathleen. I'll add that after. Prayer list is taking its time this morning to load. Marietta says, as we pray together, let's all rise in light and gratitude. Absolutely. All right, and then Sally offers us the lonely, for those feel loved and forgotten, for the homeless, fear of another, and for our family and our extended families near and far. May we all dance today in our divine light and life's rhythm. I love that. Tammy Fisk. Oh my goodness. I'm so close. I can reach out and touch you, Tammy. A Tammy hug, and I know I'm going to get one. I know that's going to happen. All right. Well, I don't know, just because it's uploading it. So while it's taking its time, tonight, interact with Archangel Jophiel, the angel of beauty, and I will be sharing some of her energy and attunement to her, with her energy through a meditation together, and just have you feel her so powerfully and work with her over the next month, as there are so many things that she helps us with. We are going to find that time, Tammy. I cannot wait to see you. All right. Well, let me maybe get out of it and go back in it. I don't know why it's taking so long. Blue says prayers for Wendy, so we definitely will lift that up as well. And anybody else have prayer requests that we need to put in there? I think all of you are on that prayer list. So let me see if it decided to cooperate. Oh, it did. Yay. So let's go into our hearts. Remember, as I said, that each person, each name, each animal, each place on this prayer list is somebody that you have brought to us. You have asked us to lift up in prayer those that you care about, that you're concerned about. So let me see if I can get it to cooperate here. Yes. So we pray for our Prachetta, Prachir, and Goofy, which I will be seeing them in just a couple of months. Well, 3 months. Mina and Neil Navriti, Jasmine and family, Billy Hawkins and family, and especially Billy's daughter Paula, who is still in the hospital and awaiting results of her test from that mass that was removed. Sheila and Kevin and their family, Gary Langford, Cecil Boone and family, Nola, Joanne Castrillo, her husband, her family, her daughter and grandson, who just started his first day of first grade yesterday, or Monday, sorry. Dolores Cook, LZ, Elaine, Deirdre, Thump, Deirdre's sister Steph and husband Bob, Adrielle, Tia Fernetti, Mickey, Suzanne Millard and her family, Jillian and Noah, grandchildren, and her sister Corinna, Jacob, Marietta and Ed, Leo Harley and his family, Lakshmi, Ken, Jim, Ryan, Josie, and filling into our energy of sweet Ricky. I think he's going to be with us tonight in that in the meditation that we do for Archangel Jophiel. Tammy Williams, Meg and Jim Lorio, Jean and Ron Lorio, and all the Lorio family. Mary Lou Burdick and her family. Catherine and Michael Kovacs and her family and fur babies. Fred, Rosalind Good Vibes, Jimmy Wright, Sally and Tony De La Rosa and the entire De La Rosa family, Stacy Phillips, Kathy and Bob Hand and all their family, Christina, Gage, Michael, Patty, Sonia, Paul and Marlene, Joe and his wife, Pat Moss and family, Becky LaFave and Travis, Erica Hoppy and family, Corinne, Charlie Coons and his family, and praying for Christine getting settled into a new home, and her energy is so beautiful. So let's lift her up for her to be a light in that place that she's at now. Hope Wellington Marshall and all of your beautiful family. Carrie Baker, holding Carrie tight in her recent loss. Andrea Gregg and Sparkle, Catherine, Annie Seven and Grayson, Cassandra and Destiny Ortega, Luz Orsini and the grandchildren, Christine Lewis, Gail and Nick Zimmerman, Jennifer and Micah, Oksana and her mom and the rest of her family, Herb, Caitlin and Aunt Gail, Isabel and Paul and their daughters, Beata and her daughter, Linda Lemieux and her sons and grandchildren and her friend in Sarasota, Stacy and Josh Lord and all of their family, John, Tatiana, Buster, Wayne, Lindsay, Aunt Inga, Blue Jean, and Dave Wolinski, and all those beautiful babies and the horses, Dolly and Rain, praying for the blessing on that whole field and that whole household up there. Chance the horse, Shasta the horse, Noel, Rose Sermon, Gary McCorkle, Brookie and Dylan and sweet little Max. Can't call him baby anymore. He's all grown up. And Brookie's dad and her Aunt Jeannie and Dylan's father Paul, the Girardi family, Jeanette and Ernie, Lilianne in Norway and all of her family, and travel prayers for her, Kathleen Caputo, babies Wyatt, Haven, and Divine and their families that are just surrounding them with so much healing love. Caden, Tinsley Rose, Kat, Candy and Pastor Bruce, Alba, Dottie and Don, Grace Isis and all of her family in Kenya and her friends and family here in the States, Raymond, Darren Walker, Arthur Thompson, Vicki King, Elaine Armstrong, Marianne, Henrik and Lorraine and John, Jeannie Aguilar and her grandson, Eric, Tammy Fisk and family, Rochelle Martinez and her mom Rose, Lori, Kelly, Stephen, Catherine, Ruth Anderson and her family, her sister-in-law Sharon, Jeannie's sister Merle, Deb Goldberg and family, Michelle, Crystal and Dean Nobles and family, Laura Hill, Julia Osborne, Sharon Rhea and her family, Sherry Gatewood and her brother-in-law, Hanaya Hummingbird, Tammy Hill and her family, Phil B., Lynn Gallagher, Mary Quincoli and her friends and family in Florida, Irene and Eduardo, Eddie Quills, Jose, Michael Murdoch, Jessica, Fidel, Camilla and Nick, Lynn Andriozzi, Frank, Albie, Kenneth, Bobby, Monsi, Kamal, Akil and the Pakistan orphans, Yuri, Scott, Letitia, Mary, Joshua, James, Drake, Alicia Burns, Pam Dite, Kimberly, Ellen, Susie Koff and Richard, Dido Clark and son Harry, Terry Gilstad, Chiara, Marissa, Claudia, Miriam Pish and family, Cassandra and Danny Gary, Linny, John Thaddeus Fiore, Kuka Carney and family, Carol Fisher, Deborah, Violet, Walter, Sue and grandchildren, Janie Stamler, Claudel Jackson, Chris Blake, Dante, Jerry, Kaylee, Trevor Jordan, Richard Weber, Charlotte Abrahams, Jerry, Michelle Landers and all of her family, Kagan and Wyatt Linder, Barbara Kaufman McGillicuddy, Bradley Capone, Andy, Amanda Summer, Miles and Sarah, Joanne McCann New, Whitney, Jude Dalton, Karen Gibbons and daughter, Julie Kiss and her mom and her husband, Courtney, Ryan, M, Pat, Sophia, Aaron Parker, Angelica Kumpemans, Peggy, Claire, Carrie Klingon Butcher and family, Brian Hughes, Pat O'Connor, Yolanda, Selby Barnes, Robin Waters Dykes and her family, Joey, Terry, Solar and Maya, Leanne, Joanne and Leo, Sam, Matt, Charles and Nita, Yusha, Jen and Norm, Keith, Joe H., Marisol Soto, Deborah, Tyler, Chad Ehlers and Mia, Dick Waters, Milton Carbajal, Tomas Diaz, Cameron, Boris Zoffman, Jacqueline Carbajal and David Reiger, Sylvie Barnes and Odd Barnes, Gun Ellen Sundahl, Maria Mitchinson Higman Simpson, Lisa Jo Davis, Jordan, Lydia Benedita, Rebecca Sewart Rickardson, Sonia Kay, Miles, Anjali Baha, Paula Graca, David Brett, Colleen, Dallin Hickson, Richard Barnes, Cole Grayson, Brandy Chari and family, JT, Francis Nalvin, Shauna, Danielle Riverin, Chris and Natika, Elise, Kara, Pam, Christine and Ed, Barbara and Diane, Kim, Catherine DeSante and her sister Rose, Mary Jane in Vermont, Carol Caruso, Val Meyer, Tasha, Jocelyn, Linda Kraft and family, Eric and John, Darlene Ose, Paul G., Liam G., Pam, Daniel McGraw, Minner Brumley, Rebecca Sherman, Joe Ketterer, Gabrielle, Ina, Donna, Nancy, Bailey, Jacob, Mary, Kim Bevan, Gabby Forrester, Don B., daughter and granddaughter, Vega, family, Laura, Lisa Capola Matroni, Bobby, Elaine, Shiraz, Sharu, Adil, Laura, Evelyn Smith, Beatrice, Amina, all areas in the world where there are conflicts and battles and wars going on, all abused individuals and groups, Ashley Miller, Alina, Susanna, Lana, Grace Anna, Kim Cole Spentner, Shoshana Sabring, Stephen, Keith, LP, Adam Holmes, Bob Smith, Chris, Christina and Clint, Janine, Heather, Kim, Jennifer, Cassandra Brown Henry, Tim, Jeanette and Eric, Rachel Warren and her family, Mark Hunter, Pat, Ainsley Grace and her mom, Kathleen Viscomi, Betty, Judy Dorn, Kelly, Alma Jean, Jim Mershon and his father, Rebecca Braxis, Dana Rados, Darlene Trainer and your family and your fur babies, and for your dad. And Darlene, I saw you asking that prayers for your dad for transportation. So we certainly will lift him up for that. Patricia, Jennifer Schwab and family, Steve Newman and Carol, Janet, Blue Sister Timmy, Margarita Estrada, Donna Sobel and her daughter Joanna, Soma, Christopher Elzie, Emerson, Luisa Almeida, Patricia Torinas, Don Baker and all of his family, especially his little baby Gia, Norman Ratner and Monica. Monica was at the hospital again yesterday, so please send her lots and lots of prayers for physical healing. Richard Scarborough, Richard James, Andre Latrulia, Kathy's co-workers and her supervisor, and Amanda and Mandy, Rose, Danica and Annette, Mike, Emmanuel from Zambia, Lucy's mom, Mary. Darlene. Okay, so for your dad's transition. Yes, absolutely, honey. I'm so sorry. We'll blame it on autocorrect. But we do lift up your dad. Where am I at? Thandi Williams-Wise and Vanette Hilma Mazel Kokahum, Justin Brown and family, James, Justina, Hans, Sherry Graham, the Wilk family, Ken and Tabitha, Susanna, Kelsey, Aunt Una, Max Smith, Jackie, Jeremiah, Noel Marshall and Bob Warner, Vinny, Dylan's Uncle Chris, Linda M., Martha, Shad Anderson, Joy, Holly Ann, Zita, Beiji, Allie, Bree, Stephen Hoskins, Tara, Soma, Ben, Pat, Dee Dee, Linda, Julie, Jana Benson and Kitty, Lauren, Olivia, Alex, Margie, Anne, Rio, Mark, Adam, Alexandria, and Lexi, Robin Miller, Jennifer Mitchell's family, Werner, Terry, Liz Eden and Serenity, Keith Leggett's family, Leah, Gina Marie Burrell, Janine, Rihanna Stowell and family, Kathy's brother Paul, Chloe's family, Bob P., Ricard, Rhea, Paisley, Yoli, Carrie Kiss, Bentley, Reverend Maria Hughes, Elijah, Tony Ventura, Susan Flo and family, Sparkle, which I had put with Andrea, so I'll revise this so that Sparkle's only on here once. Vicky, Elisa, Paula, Carla, Layla, Allie, Linda's sister Martha, Joanne G., the flood areas, anywhere in the world where we're having this terrible flooding that's happening. Arthur Peretti, Nell Kay, Michael Fanone, Ron Hall, the McKee family, and I'd like to also add some of my friends from Canada, Eric and his sweet daughter, Mila, going through a lot physically for the last couple of years, and we're praying for a miracle in her life. So let's see that happening. All right, let's lift all these prayers up, as Marietta said, up, 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 with love in our heart. We release the prayers that we've laid before you now into your hands, knowing that your love surpasses all understanding. May we find peace in surrender, patience in waiting, and joy in receiving. Teach us to remain steadfast in hope and to look for the signs of your presence in all that unfolds. Thank you, Creator, for the blessings yet to come, the lessons we will learn, and the love that surrounds us always. So please pray this with me. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. And where there is sadness, joy. We lift all these prayers to the Creator, to the divine, and we have trust and faith that every prayer is being seen and heard, answered for the best and highest good of all. And we bring gratitude from our hearts, thanking our Creator for miracles in our lives. And we leave these right there. We don't bring them back with us, but we come back with our attention. We come back now to fully embrace each other as we say, thank you, I love you, and thank you, God, and amen. And so it is. So be it. Om Shanti. And Kathleen, Arthur Peretti made his transition this week, praying for his sister Catherine and his wife Mary. And I will adjust the prayer list, Kathleen, after we get off the air to reflect all of those changes. All right, so Leo, where are you? Let's get Leo singing to us. Leo must have horse energy this morning. He doesn't want to come to the stall. Yes.
Good morning, Earthlings.
Thank you. I love you. Those are our sweet treats.
Because today's the perfect day to have a great day. Here we go, come on.
Come on.
It's a beautiful day. If you woke up this morning, might as well be part of it. One on the peaceful peace, on our mission for harmony. You and me, mama, be on the lead.
Get that gratitude flowing through your heart.
The heart telephone is always one phone call away. Calling on the guys, the angels, and the masters. Take a deep breath, we're going into a new dimension. Morning cup full of joy, every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning cup full of joy, with all the P's and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning cup full of joy, every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning cup full of joy,
Leo,
with all the P's and the pod.
at least you're here. That's the important part. And thank you for being in our lives, for lifting us up with this song every day. Oh, thank you, Andrea, and you as well.
Cup full of joy, full of light, full of love. Bottomless refuse, spilling out from the top. Here, the coffee's always hot and the trust is always yours. The sun is calling out to play, let's put on a show. Today's a new day, we all part of this game. Let's play to win. Love always is the winning team.
And Leo, I think the Doggaroos are still waiting for you to show up at their door. You promised.
The day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning cup full of joy, with all the P's and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning cup full of joy, every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning cup full of joy, with all the P's and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Give me a cup full of joy. Give me a cup full of love. Give me a cup full of joy. Give me a cup full of love.
Okay. There really is no secret.
There really is no secret. We simply accept,
Align. Allow.
AAA,
y'all.
full of joy every day. To start the day on the high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning cup full of joy, with all the P's and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning cup full of joy every day. To start the day on the high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning cup full of joy, with all the P's and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste.
Let's go. Woo! Thank you, Peas, for being here. I'll be back in an hour. I'll be doing a meditation excavation this morning with Dr. Ruth Anderson. And then tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, come on to the Zoom call with me or just watch it live stream on Enlightened World Network and Angel Speakers on both Facebook and YouTube. And we're going to talk about Archangel Jophiel, one of my absolute darling favorite angels who brings us such love and peace and joy. So take good care, everyone. I will see you later. Namaste, y'all.